Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. With Cody Swagger from Support. I'm sure that many of you have talked with him before, and so just he's here to kind of co-host this with me and point out anything that might be good to ask questions about. So,
Hey everybody.
all right, so yeah, we have a release plan for tomorrow morning, and there's a chance that it may get delayed, and if it does, it would just be released the next day, Wednesday. So we're just going to kind of go over some of the features so that you can be familiar with how to set them up and have an idea of what's coming out. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comments in Facebook, and we'll answer them later at the end. And if you have any questions farther down the road or after it's released, if you notice any issues, don't hesitate to reach out to us through our support channels and let us know so we can get those things fixed or answer any questions you have. So our preferred way is if you go up to Inflatable Office, there's a link at the top that says help. And from there, you can either just start typing your question in, or if you use our knowledge base, you can look for particular specific things that might, it's kind of categorized here, or you can search it as well. I think if you enter in a topic here, it'll also search the knowledge base. So, whoops. Okay, so I want to go over the first feature here, and that is that we've made it possible for accessories to be listed in a drop down on the customer quote form instead of just listing them all. And the purpose of this is just for people that have a whole bunch of accessories. It was taking up a lot of space, and so we've made it possible to condense them. So for example, if I set one up here under this 60-inch round tablecloth, if you want to pick a color, instead of listing all of the colors, they can have a drop down and choose whichever ones that they want to have and the quantities or whatever. So how you configure that is you can just go over to settings. We'll go to our tablecloth, edit, and then there's a new option here. It says use a drop-down list to show accessories. So you'll just check that. And again, it just does it on the quote form. It doesn't do it anywhere else. All right, next I was going to go over, we made some changes to the filters. So we added some additional dates you can filter by. So here on the leads page, you have these delivery date, return date, and shift date. So delivery and return date, they are the dates specified here on the contract tab. If you have a delivery window set, that's what it will use. If you do not, then it'll use the setup duration and the travel time, which are subtracted from the event start time. That's for the delivery one. And then same idea for the return window. It uses the return window if it's set, and if not, it takes the teardown time and the travel time and subtracts those off the end date. So if you have a delivery on Friday for a Saturday event and you want to see all of your deliveries on Friday, you can use that filter to get that list. Okay. Also, we've added a number of other filters here. So the first one I'll go over here is fees, promos, and coupons. And so what I'm referring to is these over here on the right side. You can now filter by those. So I think I have an example set up here. So if I had a coupon code called free bounce that they applied for. So again, like if I was just adding a coupon and saving it, I can now filter and say, well, look, I want to see all of the events that have that coupon on it. So you just type in fee, or you can type in coupon. They both do the same thing. And you'll see here all of the possible choices. So we can say, okay, free bounce. This shows me all of the events that had that coupon applied. So you can do the same thing with any of those line item charges that are over there. And so we can see, for example, staff costs. If you filtered by that, it would filter and show you any of them that have a staff cost on them, not by the dollar amount, but just by any of those line items. So if they had a damage waiver fee, you'd be able to say, show me all the ones that do or don't have a damage waiver fee just by typing that in there. Okay, we added another one called attachments. So that's just if you have an attachment on the event. So you just type in attach or attachment, and then you could say whether it has one yes or does not have one no, and it'll filter that list of leads again like that. Auto booking is another one you can filter by now. book. Same thing, you type it in with a colon there, and then you pause for a second and it gives you the choices. And so auto booking is for if a customer's booked it themselves. So if the customer hits the book now button and it moves it over to the contracted status without you doing anything, then they would be filtered by that. Even if it's like a completed event later and you're saying, oh, I want to know how many customers auto booked events last year, you'd be able to use this filter for it. If you've manually booked it, or like if you've upgraded the status here to contracted, then that wouldn't match that filter. It would match the no filter of it. Okay. Surveys, it's the same idea. This one's a little more complex though. Oops. Survey. So if you've got any customer satisfaction surveys that have been started or completed, it'll show up in this list. You can also filter by the manager survey or by any custom trainings you set up for your workers. So as long as the survey has been, at least one question's been answered, it'll match the yes. And if they haven't started it or done anything on it, then it'll match the no. So you can filter by managers, surveys, customer satisfaction, or custom worker trainings as well now. Let's see here. I think I added something else here. So if you're not sure what all the keywords were, under our support channel, there's a help document that goes over them all. But if you start typing in the word and it shows up like this, it's kind of telling you, oh, this is what you have to type in for that keyword. So that way, if you fill it all out with that colon there, then it'll give you the list of possible scenarios for that. Okay, here we have also added the ability to filter by country, not to be confused by county. So country, if you deliver to multiple countries, then you'll be able to filter by that. Worker position. So if you have a shift with position on it, you can now filter to match those. So let's do an example here, position driver, and then here I have an event that has a scheduled shift of driver position on it. So, okay, that was it on those. On the CRM tab, we've added an entry for lead creation. It's just to help you keep track of when this lead was created. A lot of times if they've done events over the years, you'll have journal entries from before. And so this just kind of highlights where this lead was created in the process and shows you everything that's happened since then. Also the IO phone. And before I forget, actually, I want to mention we're also planning on doing a mobile app release sometime this week. It doesn't happen at the exact same time as this one, but it also includes a few things. You can rename the attachments. You can add manual payments such as cash or checking or check payment. And there was a permission bug that was fixed related to things workers were allowed to access. So sometime this week that should come out for Android and iOS. Okay, and then back to this list, IO phone. You can now change your phone number that you've ordered or add a toll-free number yourself. Before you always had to contact us, but now you can go over to IO phone and you can just hit the change button. And from here you can switch to a different phone number, or if you want to use find a toll-free number, you can type in the pattern you're looking for and it'll try to match.
Joel, is there any fee associated with toll-free numbers that they need to be aware of?
There's no cost to order the phone numbers. It'll say you're going to order it, but we don't charge for that. But toll-free numbers are billed at 1 cent a minute higher than the normal ones. That's the main difference between the two. If you're curious about how that works and the costs and all that, I believe there's a link. Maybe not. So you can go over to help and knowledge base, and I believe under CRM near the bottom, sales CRM, we have IO phone integration, and you can read that. It'll talk about how this stuff works and what the costs are.
And since you're in the knowledge base, can you also point out the document you were mentioning about the keywords?
Yeah, so the
keywords you can punch in.
Yeah, so this would be under keyword filtering types. It's under leads here on the right side. And so it kind of gives you some clues on all the different things you can filter by and what they mean. Okay, and back to this. We haven't improved the phone log a little bit here as well. So this is the call log here, and you can now filter by date range instead of it just listing everything. All right, QuickBooks Online, we've added the ability to delete invoices from it. So there's some details I wanted to mention on this one. So this is only for the online version, not for the desktop, and it only deletes them if the lead doesn't have any payments associated. So a lead will go over as an invoice in QuickBooks if there's a payment on it or if it's confirmed or complete status. And so if it's marked to confirm status and it goes over to QuickBooks and then you change it down to like canceled or quote, it'll automatically remove it. So if there was a payment associated and you issue a refund, you'll still have to manually take care of that in QuickBooks. Okay. All right, I'm going to skip the packages. I want to do that one last. And this other one here is WordPress. Accessories can now be listed on your page. So let's go to that one. So we had that example earlier of the round tablecloth. So we'll go over to the WordPress site and see that, okay, it's listed the accessories as part of it. And so we can do the same thing here with popcorn machine. I'll show you that one as well. I don't have it. Popcorn machine, and we'll list the accessories down here with the description. So they don't actually flow into the shopping cart. The customer will still choose those when they go to checkout. So from over here, they can then choose the accessories that they want to get, but they're at least listed on the website. And these instructions here, if you've already got a WordPress integration set up, these instructions here tell you how to set this part of it up, the accessory integration. So if you're doing a new site, we'll make sure that's set up for you. And then the last thing I wanted to go over is the ability to do packages. So we've done several different ways of doing packages over the years, and so we've come up with a new way that's going to be the long-term preferred method. So for example, I've set one up here. The concession package. And so what I've done here is just given it a name, and you can assign it to any category you want, or you can create a new category and just call it packages. We don't want to limit the quantity on it. And then here you can set like a flat fee of what it's going to be. So I set this one to $150 every day. And then under the accessories, you can switch this drop down here to rentals, and then you can add in any of the concession machines you wanted. So I added these 3 here. And I marked these to be the price to be overridden. So it's not going to charge the normal price for those concessions. It's going to use the price of this concession package for it. And then I've limited to 2. So they can rent any 2 concession machines to get that price. Now, if they've selected 3 for whatever reason, somehow it would just charge for that 3rd one. And also, whenever you set this limit here, it will automatically use that drop-down list. So let me show you what that looks like. So here we have that category packages, get the concession package, and now they can say, oh, choose the 2 accessories they want. And normally there's a little icon shown here of the item, but it's not working on my demo here. But let's go ahead and pick the hot dog steamer and the popcorn machine. And since the popcorn machine has a few choices here, it allows you to also select those. So let's go ahead and submit this. Okay, and here you can see we've got the $150 a day fee for that package, and then those normal prices got overridden. It's set to 0 since we charged for it in the package, and then since I was ordering a few extra supplies, it's still charged for those properly. And apparently I still had my tablecloth stuff set as well. But anyway, it still will factor in any other specials or fees that are involved in the process here. I also had another example on here under tents, another one I created called the Big Tent Package. And this one's just a regular item that has 2 required accessories. And so you can see this 10 by 10 tent is actually right here, and the white chairs are right here. But in this package, I have it set to say, oh, 1 tent and 10 chairs comes with it. So again, you can just set all of those under the accessories tab, and you'll be able to search for any accessories or any rental items that you've got already in your account. And these packages don't count against your rental limit. As long as you have set them up to override the prices, then it won't count as a regular item against your limit.
And Joel, you alluded to this, but you can, with these new packages, you can select them when you're creating a new lead on the back end now, which is something you couldn't do with packages before.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you can hit edit here on a lead, and you'll see, oh, it's got it selected like that. Or if I'm going to search for the big tent package, it's just like it's a regular item, but then it's got the choices there as well. So yeah, with our other methods of doing packages that we had supported in the past under promotions, it didn't work on the back end like this. And so we'll eventually probably deprecate those old methods, but for now, they'll still work. So I don't think I had anything else. There's a number of bug fixes as well. I don't think there's anything that I needed to point out or highlight. So if you want to just kind of look through it, you can. Is there anything else you can think of, Cody, that I forgot?
No, I think we're pretty much good to go. I think the big thing with the packages is really just the ability to select them on the back end, as rental items. And that way you can display pictures and push them over to a WordPress website if you have WordPress integrated. It's the big kind of theme behind this whole release. So
yeah, and I'm not sure how much I went over that, but let's look at that real quick. So yeah, this like big tent package, for example, it'll show the package picture here as well as the items here have a picture included. And so even as the customer's looking through it, they can see the pictures together. And same thing if it's just a regular accessory as well, like on a popcorn machine, it'll still show the pictures if you've got those for each of those. And so in this particular example too, I also, and so there's 2 ways to kind of do a package price. You can say this is the flat daily rate for when you rent all of these items, or you can just say it's $75 off if you use the package, and then price these like normal items. And so how I did that on this big tent one was I just put a negative $75 in the price, and then I didn't check the override prices on those accessories. So it'll charge the normal rates for those, but then it'll take $75 off because they did it through the package. And so like I had shown you earlier, the other way to do it is to just set a flat fee on the package price, and then just to mark these to be overridden. And so then it'll use this max allowed setting here to decide how many of the items actually get their prices overridden. So hopefully that's clear enough for you guys, but you can always reach out to us if you need some help setting up a particular scenario for you. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments there on Facebook, or you can contact us through email or support as well. So thanks for your time, guys. I'll talk to you later.